If you are looking for something to do as you are socially distancing and physically distancing and self-isolating, go to the David Pakman Show Reddit at davidpakman.com/Reddit, Reddit. Nearly 19,000 of our viewers and listeners are now participating on our subreddit. Some interesting posts I saw. User Restless Pedestrian posted an article about financiers making a lot of money off of the pandemic. I have been talking about this more so on the live streams than on the broadcast show for a couple of weeks now. There is a lot of money being made on coronavirus. You have, of course, financiers and banksters who are able now, especially to start processing these loans under the Paycheck Protection Plan. They get 0.05% commission on every dollar processed paid by the government. You can rack up big profits doing that. You've got the short sellers of different kinds who at different points bet on the stock market declining and made money off of that. You have all sorts of different companies jumping in and making masks and other things, which of course is good. Those things are needed, but they've proven to be very profitable endeavors, including when you get a slot speaking at a coronavirus press conference like the My Pillow Trump sycophant guy, Mike Lindell did, making some masks instead of pillows and getting invited to speak on a national stage. So there are all sorts of different people that are cashing in on coronavirus. And what we need to understand is this isn't new. Every tragedy, every calamity has people who are able to profit from it. Sometimes people are profiting by helping in a serious and sincere way. Other times people are taking advantages of loopholes or vulnerabilities, scamming people, selling things like, as you know, silver toothpaste and others claiming they kill the virus. It is nothing new that there is plenty of money to be made around tragedies, and we are seeing that happen. Another interesting discussion on the Reddit is Black Rian said we should start making a distinction between the progressive left and the populist left, pointing out that populism wants to appeal to ordinary people who feel their concerns are disregarded, whereas progressivism is a particular political philosophy supporting social reform and certain policy ideas. I want to be careful about this for two reasons. Number one, when we go crazy with how we name different groups and categorize different people, it's often not useful at all and is often a distraction. And, you know, if you've listened to some of the pedantic phone calls I will sometimes get during live calls from people saying, I used to be a civil libertarian, but now I am a moderate ANCAP or whatever. It gets us very little. It gets us very little in actually figuring out how society, culture, and the economy should go. So here's my one thought. Populism can be left or right. Populism in and of itself can be left or right. And as this viewer is saying, we're distinguishing between the progressive left and the populist left. I actually think that populist left implies progressivism. So for me, there's not really a conflict. The populist left has elements of populism with progressive social policy, progressive economic policy, etc. I would not overly focus on these labels. Check out some of the work from the New School's Professor Federico Finkelstein, who is a fellow Argentinian. He's been a guest on the program, expert in populism, authoritarianism, etc. Let's not go crazy with the labels and the categorization. I don't think we get much out of it. Lastly, a bit of good news from the subreddit. User Bag of Squares has notified us that the pandemic has resulted in their mom becoming a fan of the David Pakman Show, pointing out that she previously was apolitical, sometimes with some anti-Obama sentiment, but that she has recently been on the online media rabbit hole. She came across the David Pakman Show and now is a regular viewer of the show. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I've heard a lot of those stories actually during the pandemic. A lot of people home and consuming media they wouldn't otherwise consume. And really great. Appreciate it. Say hi to your mom for me. Join the discussion at davidpakman.com/Reddit. It's free. It's something to do. And you'll see me on there. You'll see producer Pat there. Very, very exciting. Check this out. The first 500 people who see this video and go to davidpakman.com/skill will get a premium membership to Skillshare for 2 months completely free. Skillshare is the online learning community with thousands of classes on almost anything you can imagine, always taught by experts. They have classes on drawing, painting, photography, video editing, web design, running a small business, and much more. I recently took a very interesting class called Simple Productivity: How to Accomplish More with Less, and got a bunch of great personal productivity tips out of it. We should allow ourselves a little time every week to either get creative, keep your brain sharp, learn something new. It's great for mental health, and almost all the classes are under an hour, so it's very easy for someone who's busy to take advantage of it. With Skillshare, you can discover a new passion, explore something you didn't know you would enjoy, but there's also plenty of classes for people with experience, so you can just get better at something you're already good at. And again, the first 500 people who see this video and go to davidpakman.com/skill will get a completely free premium membership for 2 whole months, giving you access to every class Skillshare offers. Check it out. I put the link right underneath this video.